This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of February 12th, 2024. Our Pluto in Aquarius orientation continues this week, intensifies this week. You may find it helpful to look at everything that's going on in the first 3 weeks of February as setting up the template or the framework or the paradigm for how the next 20 years are going to proceed. We're in a massive, unavoidable stretch of evolving extremely quickly to new and different ways of thinking, different perspectives, different ways of using our energy, different ways of working, existing, taking action collectively, with more focus and power and a new expression of female energy, presence of the feminine. I would say that the entire Grammy Awards this year was a massive demonstration of how the collective is changing and what the way of the future is. This is an extremely active week, and it is a succession of intense change, softening or easing, and then more intense change, and then softening or easing. Mars, the planet that rules our drive, planet of push, ruler of the masculine, moves into Aquarius on the 13th and heads for a meeting with Pluto on Valentine's Day, which will bring really intense developments for many, many people. You could be compelled to go after something boldly that you really, really want. There is the potential for a desire component in this since Pluto is involved. There could be an aspect of dealing with technology that comes with this. Passion, aggression, vengeance, all those are possible. But before that conjunction becomes exact, the feminine slips in and says, this does not have to be violent. This does not have to be messy. The two rulers of love, Venus and Neptune, meet in a sextile on the 13th, in between Mars entering Aquarius and Mars, god of war, meeting with Pluto, lord of death. Sweetness is on offer, tenderness, creativity, compassion, openings of seeing how you could go about something in a kind and loving way rather than pummeling the daylights out of another person. It's a fascinating astrological 1, 2, 3, and I am most curious to see how this actually shows up. Immediately after Mars and Pluto merge, again on Valentine's Day, whether you're alone or with someone, it's gonna be a memorable day. But immediately afterward, there is something that's a little woozy making. The sun is in an uncomfortable relationship with Neptune, and you could feel a little, maybe even out of control, questioning your sanity, having little nudges that maybe you're misreading something. Maybe you are lying to yourself. Maybe you have magical thinking. And that quickly evaporates as Venus moves into Aquarius on the 16th. And our social mode moves into, can't we all be friends? Let's just be friends. Let's not be so serious. Let's not be so long-term and work so hard. Let's hang out. Let's be pals. Let's have many people doing things together. Real collective community, friend group vibe to this, which could, of course, lead to some relationships turning into friends rather than what one side wanted. Mercury, which rules communication and our minds, is in a hard aspect to the ruler of Aquarius, the modern ruler, Uranus, right after Venus makes this switch, unleashing conversations, messages, thoughts, news reports that seemingly come out of left field, that are perhaps shocking, that startle the existing way of thinking. So one way this could play out would be someone thinking, oh, we're a couple, and then hearing, no, we're not. Just as possibly someone that you think is a friend could say something that makes you go, oh, you're looking at this differently than I am. And right afterwards, on the 17th, Venus takes us into the third stage of our Pluto in Aquarius orientation. She merges with Pluto on the 17th. She is the mere mortal, earth plane level expression of desire and money. Pluto is the greater, larger, non-conscious, backroom, seemingly incomprehensibly huge ruler of wealth and desire of the cellular obsessive type. In many cases, this will lead to intense fusing, committing completely to something, even if it feels a little bit wrong or a little scary or a little dangerous. This will also lead to cutting away trivial situations, situations that don't deliver the sense of aliveness that a Venus-Pluto conjunction can have. And oddly, this is in an intellectual, detached mode of Aquarius where this happens, but it still doesn't mean it isn't going to be intense. And as we're still in the throes of this, the sun slips into go with the flow, mutable Pisces. Dreamy, soft, escapist. I'll just be in my own little world. Let's be nice to each other, Pisces, which has a soothing impact on the intensity and the intense aftermaths of Mars and Venus both meeting with Pluto this week. So this week takes us through the orientation gauntlet. By the end of it, we will have had Mercury meeting Pluto, our first new moon in Aquarius with Pluto in the sign, Mars meeting Pluto in Aquarius, and then Venus meeting Pluto in Aquarius. Something will be streamlined, made efficient, made incredibly clear, focused, intensified in our friendships, in our position, in our communities, in our relationship to technology, in what we see as our future. Some of these experiences we will revisit as Pluto returns to zero Aquarius at the end of the summer and then again in the middle of November. But the new template is being put in place now. Pay attention to how you feel differently. Pay attention to what is evolving around you and within you. Pay attention to pretty much everything that hits you this week, that strikes you. Maybe even take notes, because you're being given a foretaste of the next 20 years. Homing thought of the week. Show me how this empowers me. Song of the week. It fits so well. Once again, Changes by David Bowie. And the image of the week is deleting entries from your contacts. As always, you'll find more about this in my forecast for the month of February, which is up at my site, empowermentunlimited.net, where you can sign up for my mailing list and book a session with me. I'm Kathy Biehl, a professional astrologer with more than 30 years' experience. I have lots of bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Biehl, including lots of pointers on working with Pluto in Aquarius and access to my Working with Pluto guided visualization. And I'm really grateful to the people who support my work there. I host the show Celestial Compass on Om Times Radio and Om Times TV on the first and third Monday of every month at 5 p.m. Eastern. I also host lively conversation on Facebook, on the page Empowerment Unlimited, and in the group the Astro-Insight Lounge. I post on Instagram and Threads at K.A. Biehl and on YouTube at the Professional Aquarian channel. Talk to you next week.